A couple of weeks ago, I bought a salvage title Ford Ranger. It was the next gen model, which makes getting parts a little bit easier as I can just go to the Ford dealership and buy them brand spanking new. But with a couple of difficulties along the way that hindered the progress, it's dragged it on a little bit longer than what I would have hoped. This was originally just meant to be a little 2-episoder, but it's dragged on into 3 episodes. No thanks to Australia's excruciatingly slow postage time. And if you watched last episode, you'll know that I was pretty much just waiting on the headlights to rock up from Queensland. It was taking weeks for them to be posted over here. But I've just got confirmation. The headlights are about to rock up. They were meant to be here a couple of days ago, but they're on their way now. I did have the inspection booked for today. I had to cancel that. And originally I thought I wouldn't get it inspected for another fortnight due to Monday being the public holiday for Australia Day. But now that the headlights are coming this afternoon, I can put them on, get it inspected tomorrow morning, and then over the pits tomorrow afternoon, and then registered in the same afternoon. One day to punch it all out. That's if everything runs smoothly. But a couple of other little things I've got to fix up before then. I've got to paint the rear bar. I wasn't going to paint the rear bar, but we got a little bit of time. So painting the rear bar, because it does have some scratches on it. I'm going to install the guard linings for the tub. And then once the headlights arrive, obviously whip in the headlights and get that front bar on and get that whole assembly mounted up. So we've got a lot to do this afternoon. I've got to go and get a stat deck signed as well to certify all the work that I've done to the Ranger, because that's part of the requirements of getting the car inspected for written off damage. You gotta have a stat deck, as well as printing off receipts, pictures of the work, all that sort of jazz. I've got to get all that organized. So this afternoon's gonna be pretty busy, might be carrying on into the night time, but if I can get this thing registered tomorrow, I might drive it straight to a dealership on Saturday, see how much they'll give me for it, because something else has popped up that I really, really want. And that means I have to sell the Ranger. So there's a lot of pressure riding on the next 2 days, but it'll all be worth it. So let's get straight into the work. All right, so a little bit of wet sanding and another coat after the wet sanding for 2500 grit. They look pretty good. So I'll let that dry off. I've got new sensor from Ford here. This little bastard cost me like 120 bucks, I think. And we have the new wiring harness, which you gotta love new things. This was only 120 bucks, I think. So I don't know why I just didn't get this originally with all the other parts. I thought these would cost a shitload of money because of my experience with the Chrysler rebuild, but 120 bucks, just go down to Ford, pick it up. Don't have to worry about finding one from a Wreckers or anything like that. And I know it's the exact same part number. So let's slap it in. All right, so before I get into it, I've got all the old clips from the old harness still in here. New one comes with newies. So I've got to pull all these little bastards out. I really should have done that when this was off the car. So I'm going to pull all these out first, and then we're going to put the harness in. All right, so that's all done. Harness is all clipped in, looking fresh. No errors on the dash. That's what we want. Now, whilst I was watching paint dry, something exciting happened, and the headlights rocked up. Not 3 of them. Those 2 are the cooked ones. That's a newie, and that's a newie. As you can see, wee bit of a difference in bracketry. You got this big piece here, which is what had snapped into pieces on this one, as well as this piece here is that bracket there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 mounting points that have been cracked off on each headlight. But they have rocked up. It is like 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and this is booked in for an inspection tomorrow morning at 8:30. Don't get another opportunity because Monday is a public holiday and I fly to work first thing Tuesday. So everything has to happen flawlessly tomorrow. I've got everything organized. I've got everything there. I've got the pictures. I've got the stat deck written. I've got all the receipts of all the parts that I've bought. Big folder, all sorted out. I just need to take this vehicle in a functioning state. So I've got to get these headlights on, and then I've got to turn it on to see if the headlights work. I've watched way too many Matt Armstrong videos where he's plugged in like a Porsche headlight, and because it wasn't coded to the VIN, it just didn't work.
Put the headlights on. Let's even put the hazards on. Hazards are on, and I've got nothing.
So I hope to God that's not the case with Fords. Surely it isn't. There's a lot of aftermarket headlight options. I went with a factory one, which is why I had to get it ordered from the Gold Coast and sent via couriers. By the way, check the state of the box that they rocked up in. These are very fragile, mind you. So yeah, that could have been disastrous, but they're here. It's getting late. It's like 35 degrees in here. I've got the fan pumping and just, look at my spirit levels, just perfectly edged to avoid fan blades. You get these headlights in, get the front bar mounted, get it all sorted, take it for a lap around the block, and just hope there's no warning lights. Would you believe I've got to disconnect the fender at here so I can move it out, because the headlight doesn't fit over the brackets and over everything. There's like all these different mounting points. It doesn't fit unless the guard moves out. Look, it sounds crazy, but at this point, nothing surprises me on these modern cars. All right, so it's all lined up. A little bit frustrating because now I have to deal with gaps again and make sure the gaps are right before I tighten the bolts on this quarter panel. All right, so the way I'm going about this is tightening up these ones here, leaving the top two loose and that one loose there. Actually, I might have to get it, but I want to put on the front bar first. So get both headlights on, put the front bar on, shut the bonnet, make sure everything's lined up-ish, and then basically if it's out a little bit, just line it up with these top ones here because that's a smidge of movement. But that one's done, so that one's done for now. On to this one. And I'm not going to record that one because if you want to know what that one looks like, just mirror image the one I literally just did. All right, headlights are in. Now, time to get this front bar on and hopefully everything lines up. I'm really hungry, I really want dinner, and I really want this to pass tomorrow morning in both inspections. Let's get this front bar on and it'll all be all right. All right, we're done. Buttoned up. A few minor adjustments to be made, but they can do them anytime. So, thank God, headlights are working. Nice LED headlights. And everyone's glad to see, I know, the normal grille is back on, not the Raptor style grille. So, God, that looks 10 times better, honestly. But let's jump in, take it for a drive. Cruise control works, radars are working, nothing's throwing a fault, and oh my Lord, would you bloody look at that. What a test drive, eh? Don't get sunsets like that over east, that's for sure. And we are witnessing it. Ooh, the last little bit and the sun's gone. But yeah, happy with that.
All right, we are here at the inspection place. Everything is in order. Basically, to get these cars passed on written off vehicle inspection, you've got to have all the receipts. You've got to have, obviously, your movement permit. You've got to have the receipt for buying the vehicle. You've got to have a stat deck saying that you've done all the repairs. And you've got to have before and after pictures all printed out. So, with all that, give them that big folder, they do the inspection, and hopefully they pass it, which in this case, I'm sure they will. There's absolutely no reason not to pass it. So, I'll go hand them the keys, and I'll see you in about 4.5 seconds when it's all done. Yep, we passed, we got it through the inspection, we got it registered, and I thought, what better way
to end out the episode than to take quite possibly the most capable four-wheel drive that's ever existed and just bring it to its natural environment, which you'll find isn't this. I did take it to the shopping centre parking lot. I went over like 3 gutters. I thought, well, this doesn't look really good on video, so I'm really risking it out here, taking it to anywhere that isn't paved. But I literally just Googled four-wheel driving tracks near me. This one was just down the road from me, out of a place called Two Rocks, which is a town named after two rocks, would you believe? But we're out here, we're on highway tyres, which is very risky, but when it comes to sand, it's all about tyre pressures. So, but yes, we got it past the inspection. There was a little bit of delay between getting the damage inspected and then getting it over the pits because I accidentally missed my appointment time and I couldn't get one until like another week and a bit later. So that's why this episode has taken a little bit longer to get out than what I anticipated, but we've got registration. She's good to go and it's done. So if you are wondering about written off vehicle, you got to get the damage inspected. Like I said, you got to take pictures and do all that. They inspect it, they clear the WOVA status on it, and then you take it over the pits, just like any other unregistered vehicle or roadworthy inspection for those in the eastern states. In New South Wales, I think it's like a blue, pink, yellow, maroon, and a purple slip, or whatever the hell New South Wales has to get a car registered. You got to fill out a form in Mandarin probably and be able to speak native Mongolian, but it's pretty straightforward. And I've already put it up for sale because I've got some big parts rocking up for the XA Falcon that need some big money. So I've popped it up for sale, hopefully fund the XA. And if something catches my eye, I'll probably buy another bloody salvage car and turn this into a bit of a thing for the channel. But I really need to get some work done on the XA. But for the time being, let's just enjoy the Ranger. Now, I won't insult you guys and say, look at the four-wheel driving capability, because it's a factory Ranger with highway tires on. This isn't something special. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not four-wheel driving TV. I'm not Australia's leading four-wheel drive channel, Mighty Car Mods. So I'm not going to give you footage of this thing four-wheel drive and being like, yeah, we're taking it off road. Like, I'm immune to that shit. What I will say though is I'm glad it's done. I could finally allocate some more time to the X8 and the XC, which are drastically cooler than a factory Ranger. Now, I know you're all wondering, how much did this cost? How much did I get the Ranger for? What's the point of doing all this if it comes to the same cost as just buying one or just slightly cheaper? There has to be, an incentive to do something like this. So we'll do a little bit of a walk around actually. I'll get back out and we'll go over the costs. Now, this is off the top of my head, so if I do forget anything, I will add it in. But the tray, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add up the cost of the mistake that I made, which was getting the wrong tray and then having to get another tray. So I think tray, the whole situation with that, all up, we're looking at about $1,200. Tray, tub, whatever you want to call it. Now, in saying that, I did sell the canopy. Thanks to that comment, I did make back $1,000 on the canopy, which is quite cheap for a canopy, but I just wanted to get it moved on. I didn't want to have that in the garage for too long. So I made back $1,000. Got a brand new tow bar. That was about where the microphone battery ran flat. So I only realized that while editing, the rest of the footage was just totally mute. So back onto it. The tow bar was about $150. The wiring loom for the rear bar, that was also around $120. That's pretty much it for the rear. So onto the front. The front bar I picked up for around $300, I think I got it for. The radiator, AC condenser, and all the plastics for the front end, the little air dams and whatnot, as well as the front crash bar, that came to a total of around $1,800, which isn't too bad for a radiator AC, like $1,800, it's not too bad. And that was pretty much it for the whole front end. You add in consumables, other stuff like that, maybe add another $200, $300 on for that. The most expensive thing obviously was the keys for $1,600 for 2 keys for this thing. And that leaves us with the inspections and registration. So the inspections was $250 for the WOVA inspection, $140 for the roadworthy inspection, and then registration was about $1,100, including the stamp duty. So all up, not too, oh, hang on. There's another thing. $30 for keys to the hardcover because it didn't come with keys. So throw that in. So we're going to add those to the cost of the actual car itself. So I won the Ranger at auction for $23,750. Then once you add on the fees that Pickles puts on, like a 10% fee, an admin fee, GST on top of the admin fee, the final amount came to around just over $27,000. I then paid $200 to have it towed to my house. So all up, whatever that number equals, I'll obviously put it somewhere on the screen. Not too bad for a pretty new four-wheel drive Ranger. Now I do have some concerns with the Ranger. I'll just climb into the bloody driver's seat real quick. But this is a four-wheel drive, right? You pay a lot of money for these four-wheel drives. And if I want to have a gander at what four-wheel drive specific functions this has on the main screen, with pretty much you go into off-road and all it gives you is off-road status. It'll show you four-wheel drive, your steering angle, and it's got your inclinometers up the top there. And that's it, which is absolutely nothing compared to my girlfriend's Mercedes-Benz, which isn't, it's four-wheel drive, but you wouldn't take it four-wheel driving. And it has bloody cool screens. It shows you the car on dirt. It gives you all this crazy four-wheel driving stuff, more than what an actual Ranger four-wheel drive does. So it's just an interesting point to note. But other than that, lovely car. Not bad for the price that I've paid. So if we sell this for roughly around market value, we'll be well into the green and ready to put the money into the XA. Now earlier I said big money parts coming for the XA. I have this entire quarter panel custom made. That's rocking up very shortly, which will then allow me to mount the roof on correctly, to do the quarter panel, to finish that quarter panel, to then put the doors on, to do the panel gaps, to finish the interior, and it all flows on from there. But that is an adventure for another time. And if you're still here, thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button. I'm gonna get back to replying to all of the is it available messages that I've got for the Ranger. Hopefully get it sold. And in the next episode, all about the XA Falcon. So hope to see you guys in the next one. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.